Hi everybody, it's Dr. Wilkie from MBA 570, Brevard College's Business Analytics graduate course, part of our MBA program. I wanted to take just a moment to say hello and apologize that this video is about a week late, but hopefully it will help you get started with Julius.ai, which is our AI tool that we're going to be using for data analytics this semester, and to help you work through one of our homework problems to sort of guide you through how to use the tool to do the homework problems for the rest of the course. And so let's start by looking here at the first assignment. I'm going to change this due date so that it's going to be due this coming Sunday rather than yesterday, to give you time to get familiar with Julius and make sure you get your subscription purchased and start to think through how to do assignments with Julius. So let's look at just problem one here. It gives you a download link for an Excel type format which you can upload into Julius. So the file indicates the gender and nationality of the MBA incoming class in 2 successive years at the Kelley School of Business at Indiana University. And the question asks, Part A, for each year create tables of counts of gender and nationality, then create column charts for these counts. The question is, do they indicate any noticeable change in the composition of the 2 classes? And then repeat for nationality, but recode it so that all nationalities that have counts of 1 or 2 are classified as others. Or as other. So lots to unpack there, but the good news is you're going to be surprised if you've never worked with artificial intelligence how easy this can be to do. So the first thing we'll do is download the file here, and it's in my downloads there now. So let's go to Julius.ai, and here's what you're going to get. So the first thing you're going to do is upload a file. You'll find it here in my downloads. Pardon the blurring on the screen there, but I just realized there was some protected student information in a file name there that I didn't want to spread out to the whole world. So pardon the blur there on my screen. So what you'll see is that when you upload a spreadsheet into Julius, it's going to give you some clarification over here to tell you what it's about, and it's going to give you even a list of questions you might ask it here, but it's also going to give you the box. So the first thing to do is that we're just going to copy part A into here and just see what it'll do. The really cool thing about Julius is that you sort of get to see how the sausage is made. It's going to show you how it writes code. I don't understand what most of that means, and I think that's okay. That's the beauty of AI. You don't really have to know how it works to know, or to understand coding rather, to understand how it works. It tells you what its plan is over here. So it found an issue uploading the Excel file, and it's fixing it. So if you've never used AI before, what I will say is that I come to teaching data analytics through AI from years of experience doing data analytics work myself as a higher ed administrator, and spending a whole lot of time when AI was in its infancy doing parallel sets of work. So essentially, what I would do is I would do all the calculations myself by hand using Excel or Google Sheets. I would do it in parallel here on Julius, and what I found is it gets the right answer almost every time. And if you know your data well enough, then you know if it throws something wonky out at you, you're like, okay, yeah, I understand that. So you can see pretty easily right here what it's done is it's given you some bar charts, and it's giving you nationality distribution here for both years. So a correct answer to this could just be to download or screenshot these charts right here and give those to me. So have we answered the question? Create tables of counts of gender and nationality, then create column charts of these 2 tables. So it gave us a table here. Let's click to view right here, and it gave us another table here. Click to view. It did exactly what we asked, gave it to us in downloadable files. We can export it, and then it did exactly what we asked in drawing these tables here. I find it interesting sometimes the editorial choices that Julius makes. It automatically coded male and female as pink and blue, and pretty typical and traditional, right? Whatever. So it's done exactly what it's asked us to do. Could we do this in Excel or Google Sheets? Yes. Could we do it relatively quickly? Well, it depends on how comfortable you are with the tool. But the shortcut this gives you is that you no longer have to worry about learning those Excel or Google Sheets skills. You just don't have to. You have a tool that can do the work for you. It can do in seconds what it may take you minutes to do. As we get toward the end of the class, you're going to see that it will do in minutes what it would take hours for you to do. So I would say that this has answered the first part of this question. And so I would say in whatever way is easy and meaningful for you, depending on whether you use Mac or PC, screenshot this, download it, whatever you need to do, and just upload it into Canvas. And that's part A of that's answered. What some students will do is actually create a Google Doc, and they'll copy and paste into that all the answers to the homework questions. Whatever works for you, I'm really not picky about that. So, part B. Do they indicate any noticeable change in the composition of the two classes? This is a judgment call. Can you ask Julius to do this for you? Yes. But do I expect you to learn enough about how to be data competent to answer this question on your own? Yes, absolutely. As an executive or a manager or a high-level employee, you're going to be expected to understand the data enough to know what the difference is. So what do you think? Do you notice any difference here? You can see the gender distribution was not closer to equal, but a little less wonky in 08 than 09. That's one of the things I would say about that. Is it statistically significant? I don't know, but let's ask. So is there a statistically significant difference in gender distribution And yes, I know I spelled something wrong, but it's smart enough to know what I mean. So it's thinking. It's thinking of how it's going to ask this. It's going to perform a chi-squared test, which if I were going to use statistical software, that's exactly what I would do in 1,000 more steps. So it's going to complete the test there, and it's going to give us a table that we can look at. It's already done that work there. So it tells us it's done this, and there is no statistically significant difference in gender distribution between the years. According to Julius, I will tell you, I don't want to have to teach you the statistics behind how they got there, but I can tell you that is the correct answer. There's not a statistically significant difference. So if you just looked at these data, you might say there's a difference. But the question is it statistically significant? The math says no, right? And so as a leader, it's sometimes helpful to know there are real ways to account for differences in data sets, and AI can help you work through that. So I would expect you to come up with an answer on your own. Also, I would expect you to maybe ask Julius and see what it comes up with. As I said, this creates a shortcut for you to start understanding things like differences and to create visualizations. And then repeat part A for nationality, but recode this variable so that all nationalities have a count of 1 or 2 are classified as others. So it's not going to know what I mean by repeat part A. So I'm going to say create a chart and visualization for each year, but I'm going to recode nationalities and just paste in what it said to do there. And let's see if it can handle this task on its own. So I'll say as this is working, my intent for homework is a really weird word to use for graduate students, but really what I want you to do is to get into the tool and play with it and start thinking about the way AI works, start thinking about the questions you can ask it, start building your own confidence in the tool, because it's very easy to mistrust AI. I mean, one of my favorite genres of literature is post-apocalyptical fiction, and so I've read enough of that to be a little bit uncomfortable with AI sometimes, right? So, but, it has its time and place, and frankly, that's going to be helpful, right? So if you see here, it did exactly what we asked it to do. It gave us 2 charts here. And so if you've done what I've just done here, we're a little less than 10 minutes in. A lot of that was my explanation and sort of rambling, right? But that's how I would attack problem 1 using Julius.ai as an artificial intelligence solution. So what I would encourage you to do is to start working through all the homework problems for last week and this week. Get them in as quick as you can before Sunday, but if life just works out that you can't get it in by Sunday, just shoot me an email. I'm happy to give you all extensions. I know you are all working adults who have families and who have jobs and who have lots of other commitments, and that's perfectly okay. My goal is for you to to learn the material rather than stick to what can sometimes feel like arbitrary guidelines and requirements. So if you know me, I think you probably already know that I try to be incredibly flexible with deadlines and with understanding that you all have lives to live just like I do, which is why, ask for a little grace to say, I'm really sorry I didn't get this to you last week as I had intended. And if I'm honest, I have a video that covers this exact problem from previous semesters, but for some reason I'm not over the desire to record this anew every time I teach the class. And so the easy way out would have been to give you the old videos, but there would have probably been outdated references and those sorts of things. And so here we are. So reach out by email anytime if you have any questions, if you have any comments, and I'll look forward to seeing what you come up with. So don't focus on the right answer, focus on just doing the work and getting comfortable with AI. There are essentially no wrong answers to any of these homework problems other than not doing them. Right? Does that make sense? So again, reach out anytime you have any questions whatsoever, and be looking for some more videos soon. And if you have a particular issue with a problem that you'd like to see me solve with a screen caption, feel free to say, hey, Dr. Wilkie, can you do problem number 3 on this particular assignment? And I'll work through that with you and share it out to the class. So thanks so much.